what we do is, there is a forecast which we need to predict. See, if I am going to deliver, then I will be, can you able to see my machine?
Not yet.
Okay, so what it is?
Yes. Now.
Okay, so what it is means like, what is the forecast which I am going to deliver? How long I might take? Checking means you do a supplier and demander match. Then that is known as specking. But if it is forecast means ahead of time you have to tell what you are going to deliver. Then that is forecasting flow. In the forecasting flow, that is forecast for ASP, what you do, options and option evaluation you have to do. So here, Saffron forecasting interface, there is one more tool which is there that can be integrated with this. Now, forecasting means EBS setups should be there and action items should be there. Now, when I'm coming to this flow, I'm saying receive corporate forecast from Saffron into EBS. I mean, Saffron is a company. From there, I get a forecast and then I will put it into our EBS, that is our system. Then receive Radley EDA forecast into EBS. Then combine it and put customer logic. Why he needs, what he needs, all those things you will add up here. Then what you do, you truncate what it is needed to be, and then you input to ASCP, toggle weeks, how many weeks I will take to manufacture. All those things you have to put with custom interface. After that, you have to see, okay, what are all the forecasting which I had done for sales, how much I will already sold the product. So then how much more I have to produce it. So those things you will do. Then you run the monitor with that collected forecast system. So that is your collections running. After you run the collections, you have to go to consume forecast against sales orders at the item customer level. Then you have to say how much the consumptions in the workbench shows. Then you have to use MRP, that is manufacturing planning. A detailed report you have to run. Then you have to analyze, detail, compare, forecast. So that's what the major thing which you do. So whenever I come into this show, I will first asking, okay, I have to do some consumptions. When I am doing the consumptions, I will be just taking the forecast from the customer. Then I create all the windows. In which window I create, what I deliver, all those things. Then I match with the customer and the sales orders. Then I go to workbench. In the workbench, I will show what is the corresponding forecast consumption had been done. Then I run the MRP report. Then I check on, analyze the consumptions, compare forecast. So for that, there is an example which is getting served. You have to consider like this. I'm coming into you and I'm saying I'm your customer. Item customer, ship to bill to level. Here you are saying I'm having an item. My time bucket is this. Initial forecast input to ASP. Now I'm saying customer has quantity 1000 he needs. This needs to be shipped to this customer. Then forecast to you are saying customer name is this, who wants to ship this with the quantity this. Sales order is there. In the sales order, you say what is the customer name, how much he needs to ship, and what is the quantity. So initially forecast is 1000 only, but when you are writing the sales order, you had sold 1200. Now here you are selling it. Your sale is 900 only you are forecasting, but originally you are going through only 150 sales you completed. So this is an example where you had planned something, you had forecasted something, but when you are really doing it, instead of 1000, you had gone to 1,200. Instead of 900, you got into 150. So you do certain prediction and you get some results based on that. Now, after consumption at the SIP2 level, consumed forecast is 1000 minus 2200 over consumption exemption. This is an exception which can come. Now, when it is coming to this 900 minus 150, so 750 is your quantity of retention. This is with you. So you have to say this is the sales order which I cut on. So now when we are going into this, there is a demand supply, that is a window. In that demand supply window, you should take into demand of this product. With that, what you take, okay, this is my plan. This is the forecast consumption at customer ship to level. In this is my item. When this item comes, I take original order quantity is 1000, consumed forecast is 1000. Okay, great. But in this flow, you are taking original order quantity as 1200, but there is no consumed activity. Same way, you are taking 900, you are taking only 350, which had been consumed. So where is the remaining? How it goes through, what is the process in it? So this flow and this flow he is taking into the down and he is showing, okay, consumption details. There is another window which you might need to press the right mouse. By that you get into consumption details. So you're saying, okay, what is the forecast set? The forecast set is RAD ship. In that forecast ship, you have forecast, which is this one. That is, this is that thingy which I wanted to forecast. So I'm saying 1000 is the consumed quantity. And so you say how much the quantity which had been consumed. So you have to put that details. So that is how you have to consider what is the level of consumption it had acquired. Now the same story he had repeated and he is showing that, okay, if I am having 900 and if I am having a 550, then quantity rate remaining is 350. So then you will be taking, okay, this is the consumed quantity 550. Same way here, this is the consumed quantity 1200. So you write what is consumed and based on that you will be writing what is the consumption date, what is the priority date, what is the request date. All those things you will write. Then option number 3, that is option, you create an option which can be option 1 or option 2 or option 3 on the same plan option. So in that plan option, you are saying initial forecast is quantity is 1000, quantity is 900. But when it is coming here, 1200 first consumed, then 150 consumed, then 250 only consumed. So like this, the variations can occur. So as per the variations, you have to change the main screen with order. In that, you put original ordered quantity, what is the consumed forecast, what is the amount which had been consumed, what is the quantity which is remaining. That you write, and then you write the consumed things here. So originally it is 900 ordered, but originally 650 only consumed. So as per the order number, you write what is the data which it is working. So now consumption forecast against the sales orders only at one of the following levels. So when you are doing this customer forecast, you have to do how you consume the things. So in that you can put item level I consume, or item customer level I consume, or item customer ship to or bill to level I consume. So like this you consume the things. Now, there is a customer dock level where your saffron forecast at customer plant level. The forecast consumption at ship to level becomes complex with the ASCP. So there are three kinds of things which you forecast. You can just predict. Okay, it needs to be this is the item which needs to be 900 quantity, which needs to be 500 quantity. Like that, you can just put that quantity into accountability and you predict. That is item level prediction. But I can say from this customer, we need to get this much amount. Then it comes as item customer level. Same way, I have to see, okay, from this customer, this much level you recover, and from to ship to this location, then it will be item customer ship to or bill to level. Now, option 3 is item level. This option may not suit this. It allows consumption across customers for the same item. Maybe valid if items are unique to the customers. Now, what we do is this will reduce the number of records in the forecast setup. This will also reduce the risk. This will have a data mapping. Number of forecast names to be set up required for the forecast set is 1. So what is the constraints? Constraints is same item belongs to multiple customers. So from which customer you are delivering that to which customer you are putting that information will not be there. The logic of custom forecast consumption will change to item level. The setup of logic of saffron forecast to toggle with the DFF, that is number of weeks to be modified for this. So if it is customer site level, I will say I produce 500 sarees and I send it to a specific shop, RMKV, or I send it to Chennai Silks. So these are all like you specify the customer and you produce the quantity and then you send it. So then this is how the information which needs to be going occurred. So the following entities exactly match that in EBS. This following entity will be item ship from customer, customer ship to. So all these details, you take the informations and then you broadcast to the customers and then you forecast that information. If customer plant is used as mapping entity instead of customer, then each customer plant cannot belong to more than one customer. This will reduce the number of records in the forecast setup, which reduces lot of maintenance. Number of forecast names to be set up required per forecast set is equal to number of customers being shipped. So like this, how many customers are there? How I will set up the informations and from how many records I manage for a specific customer. One customer may need 10 items, so I maintain 10 items for that specific customer. Customer name will be same, but the items will be there. So forecast names to be set up required per forecast set for the number of customers. This will also reduce the risk of data not matching at the higher level aggregation. Data mapping forecast tables will be much easier. Constraint is you have to say same item belong to multiple ship tos. So you do the ship to also. That's what it says. Then you say, okay, I will be taking that also into accountability. Then you will say, okay, in each ship from organization, set up forecast sets and forecast names at each customer level for getting saffron forecast data. Receive flat file, clear all the entries, send notifications. This will be original saffron forecast. Now, consider like this. I'm coming into you and then I'm saying, okay, set up forecast sets and set up forecast names at each customer level for storing netting saffron forecast details. In this, you have to consider, okay, saffron netted in the period is equal to saffron original minus shipped sales order plus greater of saffron open sales order and open Radley forecast. Clear all old entries and populate the new forecast data. So what is the work which you are giving? You are shipping something from an organization. You are forecasting sets and then you give the name for that set. And then you transfer that items from one level to another level. So that's what he is mentioning. So I come to this forecast story. In the forecast story, I will say, okay, use only this short term and that will be 2 weeks. Within that 2 weeks, you broadcast how much I need to do that. But if it is long term, you produce with time buckets. This many days, 2 weeks once we deliver these things. Like that, you have to consider. So forecast sets is a menu. In that menu, you specify what is the number of days you will take to transfer items, and then you have to specify what is the consumption which is doing, what is the forecast which is performed. Now, saffron netting. Saffron netting is earlier it was decided to have saffron netting at a customer plant level. Item customer level, we will be having the same consumption logic for the customized saffron netting. So you have to say, okay, I'm going to ship from which organization, that you have to write. Then you have to write who is your customer, to whom you are sending, that you have to write. And what item you are sending, bucket, how many days it will take to transfer these things. What is the date, what is the quantity. So how much quantity it will be there to do the transfers. So in this condition, you have to say ship from organization, customer name, item name. So in this condition, what you say is, okay, I need to do a forecast name. This forecast name, many number of forecast names as the number of the customers in each of the forecast sets for Radley and Chevron in each ship from. So many number of forecast names will be there. And so you need to do a consultation and you need to evaluate, you need to be able to do different kinds of queries to get from which location to which location. Docs means it is days which are on hold. So then all these things you have to consider, and you have to do the same kind of forecast names for different customer plans, and you have to transfer the items from one location to another location. Now, when it is coming to toggle DFF, so that will be item level or customer level. So like this, you can able to do the level. So the level change, you can do it here. If I am doing item level, I will be just putting that this level. I put it as customer, or I put it as item, or I put it as, okay, it is based on the ship from organization. So in that, there is a menu which it is there. As per that menu, you have to write, you have to select the things, and then you have to do a transfer of those informations. Now, so you consider we have items, we have forecast details. I have to select, okay, from where to where, number of buckets. Number of buckets means I can take it by 1 bucket or 2 bucket, etc. with the amount of quantity you take, and then you send it to. Now, defining source list for Radley EDI transfers. So here, name, and then you say what is the source type, what is the organization, description, demand class. So you have to say what is the source you are doing. Is it a forecast entry? And then for every forecast entry, you give a name for that, and that name needs to be keep on changing around. And then you give a description of it, and then you put what is your customer. Then you do a map of these details. When map EBS customer names and EBS ship from orgs for defining forecast names, define forecast names in organizations for all Zealand customers, define forecast names and define forecast names that get shipped to Zealand. So what is the customers? What is from where you are shipping? What is the corresponding forecast name which you are using? These things, if you are considering, then that will be forecasting. So forecasting means what? Forecasting means what?
You are asking me. Okay, forecasting is about giving a customer demand in a proper template so that it will be taken as a demand by plan the ACP, and it will start working on whether it's a job order to be done or a purchase to be made. That and all will be predicted.
Hmm. Which level you will predict?
We can predict at org customer and customer site level, but we practically tell customers to put it at customer site level so that everything will be proper.
Huh. So what is the three things which you consider?
Priority, right? Priority pegging and also quantity. What is to be there?
No, priority picking, and then that is first pass, second pass is first in, first out. Okay.
Okay, okay. First, okay, okay.
Oh, so that is the second pass. So that is okay. Now that we are not considering. We are considering forecast. So when I forecast, I will say item level forecast. I will say, okay, these are all the items available. These are all the items I can manufacture. And then I am sending from here to there. These are all the items. So then it is known as the item level.
Yeah,
Then,
correct.
then what we will do? The items needs to have a forecast name. Okay.
That is all we know, madam. Forecast set also is there. Actually, you are telling from a PPT. In reality, in Oracle apps, we are in inventory module. We have to create a forecast set. Forecast
Hmm.
set can be something, and inside the forecast set, you will create multiple
Different
items.
items. Okay.
Okay, and that items will have a name and all these things that we know.
So
That is why I'm saying we should go on real time. If you see from PPT, actually this PPT is designed for some other company, that Saffron and all, or some company. Okay, that is
Saffron, EBS. So these are all different organizations. So from which organization?
EDI is electronic data interchange. That is a
No, no,
part of
EBS.
Oracle.
EBS.
Yes, yes. Okay,
Okay, so
so
these two organizations, like what we have as a TST colon B1, etc. Okay, so these are all organizations. So you will be saying, okay, from this organization, I am taking the product. So then that will be EBS or that will be that is Saffron, etc. And which location you are going to ship to? What is your customer? So, so first you have to bind it by the item level. Then you have to bind it with the item and organization. Then you have to bind it with item, organization, customer. That is the forecast you have to make.
okay, but
Understand?
understood. Okay,
Understand now? So,
in
so
reality, we
uh,
won't do the forecast. It will the end users they will do it. But can we see that? Oh, that what you have mailed. Manufacturing calendar, you are not able to access. That's what
uh,
yesterday.
yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
we have certain restrictions in the system. I will send a mail today. Then
yes,
we
yes.
will be having a demo on this flow. This forecast sets. We have to go to distribution planner. So I will show this demo little bit later. But
Okay.
the level it needs to be whether it needs to be customer level or it needs to be item level or it needs to be from where I am picking up. So the ship from where or from organization, that and all needs to be in this level, that is in this column. You will select it. Okay.
Yeah. And forecast also, there are two methods. I mean, Yeah, one is forecast at the end of the month. Another is spread even. Spread even means that suppose it's 100 quantity, it will be divided for 30 days, and
Mm,
every day will be like 3 quantity. Like that, also it will be spread.
mm.
So, but in reality, I don't know how much customer will, I mean, client will use it. Okay, so but these are also there. Anyhow, we will. You please continue, madam. I only told. I answered your question. That's all. We can
Okay, yeah,
continue.
yeah. Now let's go ahead for the next. Now this is what we need to go ahead for the next task. In this, we might go for. Mm, okay, so this is a collections. Collections, when it comes, we will be doing a collections processing parameters and workbench. This you know already. You know already, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Collections, I know. Okay.
Yeah. So in the collections, we will be having three kinds. So one will be complete, another one will be targeted, another one will be net change. So there are organization specific. So when it is coming to collections, collections can be type standard or continuous. Collection processing, when it comes to this, you have to take, okay, user transparent, two-stage concurrent request sets, planning data pull, planning ODS, that is operational data store load. What you do is, first you take the legacy, and from there, batch, push to API, staging API. Then it goes to load operational data store. So from this API, legacy or mainframe, etc. That is a data pull which you are doing, and then you will be having a staging API, which will be, it will be used for doing some selections, etc. And then this will be loaded into data store. Now, when it is coming to collection parameters can be instance code, or it can be analyzing in the staging tables and the corresponding data types which are involved in this flow. Now, when it is coming to planning data collection, run this request. You had got it. Now, when we are submitting it, it will be having a submit option, and then it will be having, okay, I'm doing a data pull, I'm doing a load from, what is this ODS? Operational.
Madam, operational data stores is nothing but it is actually the PLSQL which will load that either it's a legacy data or it will be data from Oracle's other
ODS.
modules like inventory, purchasing, order management, or projects that or costing. All this module data will be loaded into ASCP. Okay, that's what,
So
madam.
then that is known as collection.
Collection.
Then that is known as collection. Okay, so there is a collection menu in the workbench only. In that is in the ASP planner, we have this option collection. It is once you get in there, you will be having these two options, which you need to select which option. Before you submit, it will give you this options list. In the options list, you should write what is yes, what is no. As per yes and no, what you are selecting, all those details will be collected for you and kept for you. So you select here instance, then you say, okay, what is the corresponding bill of materials, what is the calendars, what is the demand classes, what is the forecast, key performance indicators. All these things, you have to select the corresponding option. If that data is needed, you press yes. If that data is not needed, you press no. After you had done that, you have to go to this information. That is, you before you run it, it will ask for what is the parameters you have. Timeout 180, and then a number of workers, recalculate, purchase sourcing history. If you had written as yes, this data will be collected. If you had put as no, this data will not be collected, and you click on those details, and then you have to just run it, you get the collection of the data. Now, when you are having the view of the data, troubleshoot errors, enter data on the destination instance that cannot be entered on the source instance. Now, when it is coming to here in the collections workbench, in the options you have a collections workbench. You have to go inside there and you have to see all this. Once I get in, I have this plans. Then in the plans, I have this collection. Then if I click on tools, I will be having all these options which I can able to launch, and I select the specific option. From there, I can able to take the corresponding information. So collection can come with exceptions, yeah, and it can be audit exceptions also. We can have all these exceptions. And then this will be when we are running the plan, supply chain plan names, you write the plan name, you write the description, availability to production, and then you can check, okay, if it is production, you click on here, you need to have a notification, then you write it, and then you do a launch plan, you put the different kinds of data there. When it is coming to plan options, in the, give me a minute. Can
The
you able to
PPT
see?
only, no? Plan
Yeah,
options. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Okay. So now, I'm sorry, I had got a call, so I just talked for 2 minutes.
Absolutely no problem, madam. What is there? Everyone will get calls. No, no worries.
Okay. Okay, so now consider like this. There is a plan options which we need to take. In that plan options, you take the plan name and then you put the plan type, which will be manufacturing plan or whatever. Then you write what is the main, that is demand and supply, etc. And then you say demand time fence control, planning time fence control, up and planned orders, and then enable pecking, peck supplies by demand priority. So when it is coming into this flow, you go to the main. In the main, you say within this limit, I do these things. That is demand time fence. And do not spread forecast immediately. You say that. Or you have to specify, okay, I wanted to specify the forecast based on the buckets. Then explode forecast. Within backward days can be this, forward days can be this. So all this you mention it in the plan options. Now, then the next tab you have to take. The next tab is aggregation. In the aggregation, what we wanted to do, from what is the plan started, what is the plan end date, how many buckets you deliver, what is the items which it needs to be delivered, what is the routings it will be. Now go to organizations. When it is coming to organizations, you specify global demand schedule. So you have to specify what is the organization involved in this. It can be WIP or it can be reservations, purchases, safety stock, sales order. So whatever the things which are needed, only those things you click. So those things based on this organizer, you click those things and then you write what is the demand name needs to be. So that is so you should be able to write here, and then you have to say sub inventory netting, etc. When it is coming to this screen, here, this is the constraints which you are specifying. What is your constraints? You have to say what is the enforced demand due dates, what is the start, what is the resource constraints, supplier capacity constraints, what is the bucket size, and then days bucket size, etc. And then you say planned resources. So now when it is coming to constraints, in the constraints, there is a constraint plan, enforce demand due dates. You say from this date I do, and this many weeks, this much periods, I specify those things. So in that condition, when it is coming to this days bucket size in days, 14 days, you had scheduled it. After that, you have to go for plan options, optimization. If you click on optimize, you have to what is the kind of plans we can write? constrained plans, unconstrained plans, optimized plans. So optimize key you had pressed, then you had to specify how you optimize, what is your maximization of the product profit, what is the on-time delivery, etc. You can write. Now, after this, you have to go launch SCP plan. In that, when it is coming to these parameters, you type of all these parameters. ATP means what? ATP means?
One second, I was on mute. ATP is available to promise. GOP means global order promising. Okay, even in constraint plan and unconstrained plan, in constraint plan there are two more plans like constraint by material or resource or both. That is, you want to constraint the plan only by the material. I have a limitation of material, but I don't have a limitation of resource. Or I have a limitation of resource only, no material limitation. Or both. Usually it will be both, right? You will be having limited employees, resource, and limited material. So that is also there. So these things we have crossed, madam. I mean, I myself have studied and crossed it. But please continue for the PowerPoint. Continue. Okay.
Okay. So after this, you write the exceptions, you write the recommendations, and you have to specify all those things, why we are doing what, and then you have to do the supply and the demand. So exceptions, unconstrained exceptions, recommendations. Now, when it is coming to exceptions, you write exception messages, plan cases, groups, context windows, sets, exception messages, public queries. So this messages, exception messages, you take care of that with amicable way. It can be with groups, or it can be with the sets, or it can be with the context. So demand and supply with the shortage, or with the compression days, or with the excess. Compression days means within the limited days you deliver, then it is compression days. This is excess days, this is a shortage of materials. So you have to write in such a way, okay, there is a problem, there is a like a resource constraint, it might be, or supply capacity constraint, or lead time constraint, or optimized. So you write the corresponding exception groups. In the exception groups, you have to consider late sales order or supply problems, material and resource capacity, transportation and distribution, shortages and excess, reschedules, substitutes and alternates used, projects, tasks, item exceptions. So these are all the ways you write the corresponding exception groups. When it is coming to exception messages, past due sales orders, past due orders, late supply pegged to sales orders, late supply pegged to forecast, orders to be rescheduled out, orders to be cancelled. Orders to be rescheduled in, orders with the compression days, items with a shortage, items below safety stock level, items with the excess inventory. So all these things says what is the exceptions you write. Now, if there is any sales order which you have not delivered it, that will be past due sales order. In this one, what you are writing is you have to write the schedule date earlier than the plan horizontal start date. So that is past due sales order. Past due orders also the same way. When it is coming to late supply pegged to sales orders, supply is coming late, but I might connect it to demand, so that it will be independently, it will be connected. Then late supply pegged to forecast, order to be rescheduled out. When it is coming to forecast, what you say, supply due date is later than the demand due date. So there is there is a forecast which you had done, but you had not supplied, you had not met that demand. Then orders to be rescheduled out. This exception message appears when the planning engine suggests that you reschedule an existing supply order to a later date to avoid carrying excess inventory. this exception message, orders to be cancelled. Sometimes you need to cancel the orders to be rescheduled in. That is, when the orders are need to be delivered, if it had not been met, then then you have to reschedule it. Then compression days means deducts the supply order needs to be completed in less time, that its minimum processing time in order for it to meet a demand. Then it is known as orders with compression days. Then orders with a shortage. You might not be having the enough details, so you might deliver like that. Items below safety stock also there, and then items with the excess inventory. So if you have an excess inventory, excess quantity value for the item with the exception set, excess exceptions, exception time period. So like this, you have an excess inventory. So the amount of things which you have is excess. Then what is the demand? So when you are delivering a bucket, you can write that information also. Then you will be having the detailed informations of this exceptions. So when I write this plan, I come to here, I do a right mouse button, and then I check it. There I will be having exception details. In this exception details, I will get in, I will write what is the organization, what is the item, what is the order number, old date. Like this, we have to write the corresponding exceptions, corresponding organizations, and match it, then give the output. Now, when it is coming to reports, Oracle Supply Chain Planning Detail Report, OPM MPS Enhanced Material Activity Report, then this OPM MPS Enhanced Bucketed Material Report, Inventory Reorder Report, Planning Detail Report. So these are all the reports are
Madam,
available.
1 minute, 1 minute. Actually, this exception writing is how we write the exception is what we should know now. Okay, exception, whether Oracle will automatically give or we write the exception. If we write the exception, where we write it? In the, I mean, in the real instance, right? Where we write it. So maybe next week, if you have time, you can check and tell me where we write that.
I will show you this one also. Demo should be done. Okay.
Okay, okay. Yeah, demo we can check. And
Uh,
this PPT you have shared, or this is something new?
this PPT had not been shared for you because it has been like some small problem in this PPT, so I have not shared it. I will
Okay,
share it
okay.
by today.
Okay,
I
okay,
will.
no issues.
Okay. I
Okay,
will
okay.
share it by today.
This is somewhat
Now,
clear. More PPT is clear. I mean, simple
uh,
English and everything is there.
okay. So this is from a recognized institute, so it might be good for you point to point
Okay.
learning. Okay, now this exceptions is there now. In this exceptions, what you will do is there is this is the one which you are writing, right? This place, if you go and click here, just click here. At that time, this exceptions you can not need to do selection, but you can write it. But other than that, as per what you have as inventory, what you have as data, when you write collections, when you run the collections, automatically these exceptions will be popped up and then this data will be coming to you. Understand, right?
Yes, yes, I understand.
Okay, so you might not write all these statistics, but already what product you are selling, whether you are ahead of time, whether you are having any constraints to delivery, whether you have excess quantities, etc., you put it in the table. Then you run the collections. Once you run the collections, you have this data automatically popped up. You just need to take, okay, I go to this plan and then I just do a right mouse button, and then in the top in the tools, I will be having exceptions. Then in that exceptions, these things already available. You can just check it. Now, there is a horizontal listing, vertical listing is there, which we had seen previously. And cross requirements, scheduled receipts, planned orders, bill of materials, engineering changes, expired lots, byproduct information. All these things are there. So now OPM MPS, Enhanced Material Activity Report, a revised OPM report which we need to create in this pending inventory transaction activity for an item in a specific warehouse. All warehouses over which the planner has authority helps buyer decide which requisitions and suggested purchases should be approved. Help planners decide when to convert from planned orders to batches and indicates the batches to be rescheduled, consolidated, or if you couldn't deliver, you cancel it. So these things we have to write. Now, group transactions into categories such as purchase. Time bucket based format you can give. Bucket means what?
The number of days.
Number of items.
Items. Okay.
Then Oracle inventory reorder point. If any product is not there, then it is a shortage. So you say safety stock level below the safety stock level. So I couldn't deliver it immediately. So you have to tell, okay, I need to do a replenishment lead time. What is replenishment? If the product is not there, if the item is not
Order,
there,
reorder, reorder.
yeah, right. So you have to say, okay, restoration of the stock. Replenishment means I have 10 stocks. I had sold already 5 or 6 stocks. So remaining 4 stocks only I have. Now, if I am initiating replenishment, so what it does, the whole reorder of the stocks, it will do. Now, there is a detailed reporting which you can go ahead and check on these things. Then, when it is coming to this, what is the corresponding make item or buy item or transfer item or firm planned orders or releasing recommendations. As per that, you design the things and then you put what is the demand, what is the supply, how you planned it, how you are doing the deliverables. Now, exception messages that refer to recommendations. Past due orders, orders to be rescheduled out, cancelled, formed late, formed early, or scheduled late. All those things are there. So when you are coming to this exceptions, supply demand, you have to consider, okay, what is the view recommendations? What is the corresponding recommendations which we need to consider? And then that item, you have to consider what is this item equal to which item. So you select these things by using the double click, this one. And then you click it and then you can able to select those things and you can able to find the corresponding things. Now sources, where used, components, all these things I already had told sometimes back. Then there is a picking which got given, then releasing recommendations, which product I am going to release, how I am going to release. So those things you will select. There is an option which is with the date. You select from that date, you get the release date. And then if you put that as the release date, then all the release action should be coming in and you can check which product is going to be released on what date. So if this is the release, then if you are entering the date, then you define that date as a releasing date. By that means when you are doing the inquiry, you can able to do with the release date. Now, there is a releasing recommendations are also there. You have to do, okay, what is the print? When all this you had done, you can able to do, okay, this is the report ID, please print it. Then you can get this. Then when it is coming to this, describe exceptions, describe unconstrained exception messages, describe recommendations. So all these things you can able to deliver and you get the corresponding output. Inventory optimization, production scheduling, strategic network optimization. All those things are there. So mixed mode manufacturing plan. When it is coming to mixed mode manufacturing plan, in that plan, you will be having shop floor management, engineering bills of materials, project manufacturing, flow manufacturing, process manufacturing. So all these kind of different manufacturing things are there, which will be make to stock, make to order, assemble to order, or configure to order as per the order details, as per the stock details. You manufacture the things. Now, when it is coming to manufacturing environment, that will be phantom routings, utilization efficiency, routing efficiency, sequence dependent setups, simultaneous aggregate and alternate resources, co-products, load-based component usage. When it is coming to integration of these things, you have to take a project, task, CBN numbers, and you have to do a planning data, and you recognize, allocate, combine supply and demand, and you map all these details, and then you create a flow of how it works. And then there is a support for complex routing, contiguous operations, managing material shelf line, Oracle process manufacturing planning convergence. So these are all the things which you need to consider while you are doing the design of it. Okay, over. Now we might do some demo. If you want, we can have a call by 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock today or Monday.
Monday is okay, madam. I don't want to disturb on a weekend. We can do a demo on Monday.
Okay. So exceptions to be showed for you. And then there is some other thing, forecast also to be showed for you.
Forecast.
And the corresponding designs also needs to be showed.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay.
I
And
think that
there is the
by
distribution planner, material planner, access we should get so that we know where from where we are
calendar. Yeah,
putting
yeah.
the
You please
calendars.
put a mail to them so that Monday they will be ready, right? They work.
Okay.
They'll Monday they'll keep it ready. You mail
Okay.
them. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
You don't put dear sir. They will think that whether you are addressing me or them. Hello support team like that you put so that they will know they have to address it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, madam. Have a good day. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Happy weekend. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
same to you, madam. Thank you.